Presto! Greetings! They call me Topper. Handsome, aren't I? Elegant, well-dressed, and clever with it. And these are my friends. You can't tell one from another. Oh. Except for him. The old one, we call him. Boring. Unlike these, Topper's Tales, an account of my adventures.
One afternoon, we decided to visit our friends who lived on the other side of the big hill. They had a beautiful garden, which was always full of flowers, and their bees made the best honey you've ever tasted. Every year they gave us a pot for our winter store cupboard. The weather was warm, but there were big clouds in the sky. As we climbed the hill, I began to feel uncomfortably hot. "Whew, let's sit down for a while," I said, "and admire the view." "We've no time to sit down now, Topper," said the old one. "I don't like the look of those clouds. Unless I'm very much mistaken, it's going to rain."
Oh, it won't rain. It's far too warm for that," I said.
But as I spoke, there was a distant rumble of thunder, and large drops began to fall.
"There you are, Mr. Clever," said the old one. "It's started already."
"Take shelter, everyone," I cried. "It's only a shower. It'll soon pass." We stood under the trees and watched the rain sweeping over the countryside like a great grey curtain. As the clouds rolled away, the sun came out again, and raindrops sparkled on the leaves like diamonds. Suddenly, one of my friends gave a shout of delight. We looked up, and there was the most beautiful rainbow you've ever seen, right above our heads. One end was out of sight over the hill, but the other came to earth by a ruined cottage in the valley below. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo,
"And violet. We all know that," snapped the old one.
"I suppose we also know that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow," I said.
"That's an old wives' tale," said the old one. "Nobody really believes that."
Suddenly, I had a brilliant idea. "Hey, presto!" I cried. "Let's go to the end of that rainbow and see if it's true."
"We aren't going to do anything so silly," said the old one. "We are going to visit our friends."
"Oh, no! Topper's right," shouted the others. "We're going to help him find the pot of gold."
"Well, you can go if you like, but you needn't think I'm coming with you," said the old one grumpily. "Mark my words, no good'll come of it."
And he turned and stumped off up the hill. "This way, explorers!" I cried, and we followed the rainbow down into the valley. "Look, it stops just in front of the cottage," I said. "Come on!" But as we reached the garden wall, the rainbow vanished. "Oh, dear," wailed my friends. "Now we've lost our pot of gold." "No, we haven't," I cried. "I saw where it ended. It was by that old well." "Do you think the gold's at the bottom?" asked one of my companions. "If so, we'll never be able to get it out." "Of course we will," I replied. "First, we must find out how deep the well is." I leaned over and dropped a stone into the darkness. 1, 2, 3, I counted. Then, to our surprise, we heard not a splash, but a thud. "The well's dry," I said. "This is indeed our lucky day." "Hooray! Hooray!" shouted my friends. "We're going to be millionaires! Won't the old one be surprised when he finds out?" "Wait a minute," I said. "We aren't down yet. We'll need that bucket and something to let it down with." We searched the garden and the ruined cottage, and it wasn't long before we found a length of rusty chain. "Just the ticket," I said. "We'll fix one end of the chain to the bucket, pass it over the roller, and hold on to the other end. As we let it out, we'll lower ourselves into the well." There was barely room for us all, but we were so excited we didn't mind being squashed together. "Lower away!" I ordered. Slowly the bucket started to sink. I wish we'd brought a lantern, said one of my friends nervously. We won't be able to see a thing at the bottom.
I've got a box of matches, I said, but there aren't many left, so we'll get the pot of gold and come straight up again.
It won't take long. As we looked up, we could see the circle of daylight above us getting smaller and smaller. At that moment, there was a rattling, jangling sound, and the bucket lurched sideways. "Look out!" I yelled, as with a sharp crack, the chain snapped. We all plunged down into the darkness. Luckily, the earth at the bottom of the well was soft, so no one was hurt. I struck one of the matches and held it above my head. The warm yellow light was very welcome, and while it lasted, we were able to get to our feet and look around. Our joy in finding that no one was hurt soon vanished when we saw the smooth, slippery walls towering above us. We were trapped. There was no way out. "Oh, dear," moaned my companions. "We should have listened to the Old One. He said no good had come of this." "Have no fear, my friends," I said. "We won't be here long. I'll soon think of something." Several hours passed, but no thoughts came. The light at the top of the well grew dimmer and dimmer. Dusk began to fall. There were no matches left. Soon we'd have no light at all. By now my friends were very frightened. "Suppose it rains," said one of them. "Oh, the well will fill with water and we shall all be drowned." I decided to sing one of my songs to cheer them up. Topper with his friends so bold went out to find a pot of gold, buried where the rainbow ends. "Oh, do stop, Topper," wailed my friends. "It's we that are buried, and it's your fault." So we sat in silence. By now, it was quite dark. Even I was beginning to think that we'd never be rescued. Then all of a sudden, high above us, a light appeared.
"Well, well, well," shouted a voice we all knew. "So this is where the rainbow ends."
"Don't tease us, Old One," wailed my friends. "Just help us to get out." The Old One began to lower a long piece of rope down into the well.
"Tie it to the bucket handle," he called, "and then climb in."
My companions eagerly scrambled aboard, but just as I was about to join them, my foot struck something hard on the ground. I stooped and picked up a smooth, round object. I shook it, and it made a jingling noise. "Pull us up, Old One," I cried, scrambling into the bucket. Slowly, we started to rise to the surface. As we came out into the open air, my friends let out a cheer. "Thank you, Old One. You've saved our lives." "Wait till you see what I've found," I said, and I held out the smooth, round object. It was an old treacle tin. With trembling hands, I took off the lid and shook the contents onto the ground. Out fell a lot of rusty nails and some dirty orange water.
Oh, so that's your pot of gold from the end of the rainbow, screeched the Old One. "Oh, really, Topper, you're the most foolish person I've ever met. Only you could believe such silly tales."
I looked at him through my monocle. "A rainbow has two ends," I replied. "Perhaps this was the wrong one. Did you see where the other end came to earth?"
"Yes," said the Old One, "at our friend's house on the other side of the hill."
"Did they give you anything for our store cupboard?" I asked.
"Of course," snapped the Old One. "You know they always do."
And he held up a large jar of honey. In the light of the lantern, it shone bright gold. "There you are, then," I said. "Now will you believe me? There's our pot of gold from the end of the rainbow. And if you don't mind, I'd like to finish my song."
Topper the explorer bold went to find a pot of gold, buried where the rainbow ends, a shining fortune for his friends.